Hello, my lovely subscribers. Today we're going to be making this beautiful fingerless glove. It is a cable stitch fingerless glove, and it's very easy. It's really not that hard. I had recently made a video of the simple fingerless glove, so it's just like that, just with a few differences. So I have started one and I haven't quite finished it. The first two rows I did are single crochet. It's simply just single crocheting a chain or chaining. You chain and then you want to chain it to the length of your wrist, and then you want to join without twisting that chain. And then the rows is just simply a single crochet. After the chain row is 2 single crochets at the bottom. And then here I'm going to show you how to do the actual cable. So give me a minute to adjust my camera. Okay, so I left off here with a row of single crochet. So the pattern is simply a row of single crochet, then a cable stitch row. So this is where I left off on my single crochet row. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to yarn over, because you're doing double crochets for the cable stitch, and you're going to skip the very first stitch, which it would be right here, this very first stitch here. You're going to skip that stitch. So, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go into the next stitch, which is here, and you're going to do your double crochet like normal. Then you're going to go into the next stitch and do another double crochet like normal. Okay, so the next stitch we do is what's going to make this a cable stitch. You're going to yarn over, and that stitch that you skipped way back here, you're going to go into it. Just going to go into it. You're going to grab up your yarn just like you're doing a normal double crochet. And there you've just made your first cable. So you continue that pattern, skipping the first stitch, going into the second stitch, and doing your double crochet like normal, then another double crochet, and then you yarn over and you want to go back to that stitch which, as you can see, is right here, not this one, because this one is the stitch cable from the last one. So it's right here, right next to it. Go in, and there you have your second cable. By the way, I'm using a D 3.25 millimeter crochet hook, and my yarn is it is a worsted weight yarn, silk worsted weight yarn. I'm not exactly sure who it's by, but because I ordered it, so I'll leave a link in the description below so you guys can check out this yarn. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to show you one more time. So we're going to, this is the last stitch we left off with. So this is our first stitch. We're going to skip it and go to the second stitch. And we're going to do a normal double crochet. Then we're going to go into the next stitch. just right next to it, so right here. And then you're going to go back to that stitch you skipped, just right in here. And that is how you do the cable stitch. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish up this row, and then I'll show you the next row. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished my cable stitch row. So now I'm going to go ahead and show you what to do next. And this part is very simple. It's just a simple single crochet all the way around. But before I start at the end, when you come to the end and you've done your last cable stitch, you're just going to slip stitch to the top of the first cable stitch. So then we're just going to go to the next stitch. We're just going to do a single crochet there, and then we're just going to continue on, and all the way around you're going to do a simple single crochet. And that's pretty much your pattern. You do one row of cable stitch, then one row of single crochet, and you want to continue until you reach your thumb hole. So basically you're just going to keep trying on the glove until you get it to about here, and then we're going to start our thumb hole. But I'm going to go ahead and finish up my glove offline, and I'll meet you back at the end. Okay, so I went ahead and finished up to my thumb area here so I can start my thumb hole. But before I show you that, I just wanted to address that when you're doing your cable stitch row, that sometimes you might not have enough stitches from your previous row to continue. So if that happens, what you want to do is you just want to go ahead and end off with double crochet. And then what you do is you can decrease when you're doing your single crochet to make it even again. Seems like my camera went blurry here. Okay, there we go. So now that I've finished it up to my thumb area, and that's about right here, I counted, tried it on and counted, and I'm going to chain 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Sorry about that. Okay, so I've chained my 6. Now I'm just going to skip 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I'm going to, since I ended off on my single crochet row, I'm going to do a double crochet. I'm going to skip that one and do a double crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And I'm going to skip this one and double crochet in the next one. This is only for if you ended on a single crochet row. If you ended on a cable stitch, then you could just simply single crochet all the way around. But for us that ended on the single crochet row, you're going to go ahead and double crochet in that next stitch. Okay. And then you're going to do exactly like you would. You're going to go back and you're going to double crochet in that last one. And then you would just continue on like you were doing your cable stitch. And you would just skip through And then you want to double crochet in the next one. And then you want to go back and double crochet in the one that you skipped. Okay. Now, that's pretty much it. This would be your thumb hole. So I took it off and actually tried it on, which is something you should do, because if this doesn't fit, you would have to fix it. But see, it fits me just fine. So there's my thumb hole. Here is the, let me just zoom out. Okay, so here's the whole glove, and here's the thumb hole I made right here. So when you're coming back around with your single crochets, you're going to single crochet in the top. Now if you're coming back around with the cable stitch, you would just cable stitch into the top as if they were just regular stitches. And then you want to continue until you have gotten your glove the length that you would like it. So this one, for me, my stop is at my fingers. So there's my thumb hole, and here's the whole glove. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine off camera, and then I will show you what to do at the bottom here where you see that it is uneven. See how you have like a hump here and it's higher? So I'll show you how to do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish this, and then I'll meet you back. Okay, so I'm not finished, but I did want to show you guys right where the thumb is here. I want to show you, you have the chains. I want to show you what you're supposed to do if you are landed, if you're doing the cable stitch row. So I've already done one. So to continue on, hold on, give me 1 minute, fix my camera. Okay, so to continue on, so this is a chain here. We're going to skip this just like we would if it was a stitch. Then we're going to go into the next one. We're going to make our double crochet like normal. Then we're going to go into the next chain just like it was a normal stitch right up at the top. Okay, there we go. And then the one I skipped, I'm going to go back and go into it. It's right here. So I'm just going to take, and I'm just going to go into it just like that. And there we have created a cable stitch on the chain, and you're just gonna continue on with that. So here's the next one. I skip this one, go into this one just like normal, then go into the next one, which is here, and then yarn over, and we're going to go through the one we skipped. Just remember to move back this yarn here, and your stitches right here, your chain is right there. So just going to go in just like that, and there you've created it. And you're just going to continue on with your pattern until you have reached your desired length. So I'm going to go ahead and finish mine up, and I'll meet you guys at the end. Okay, so as you can see, I have finished up my glove to the length that I desire, and I have cut off my yarn and fastened it off. I'll tie in my ends later. Now for the bottom part, what you're going to do is you're going to put a loop onto your hook, and you're going to just go ahead and insert anywhere. It really doesn't matter where you insert the hook. insert it, and you're just going to do a single slip stitch all the way around this, and then you can tie in your ends later. But just to make it even, you just want to slip stitch all the way around. And then as for the thumb, because here you can see on this one, I have made it a little higher. You can stop here if you like it this way. But if you don't like it and you would like to have it like this, then you're going to do the same pattern you did here. You're going to do a single crochet, and then there's going to be a cable stitch. So if you ended off here like I did, which is with a cable stitch, then you would do a single crochet around, and then you do a cable stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish up my slip stitching, and then I will show you how to fix up the thumb. Okay, so I went ahead and I finished my slip stitch at bottom, and it looks much nicer. It's not uneven. So now, if you like the way that your thumb is on the glove, you can leave it. But I want to make a matching pair, and I have already put more to the thumb. So I left off with my cable stitch. I left off with the cable stitch on the thumb. So I'm going to go ahead and just, you're going to put your hook anywhere. And since I left off on my cable stitch, I'm going to start off with a single crochet. So I'm just going to do simple single crochet, and it's only 2 rows. It's a row of single crochet or a row of cable stitch if that's where you left off, and then a row of single crochet. So it's a single crochet or cable stitch, or the other way around. So I'm just going to go ahead and do simple single crochet all the way around. Okay. So after I do this, I'm going to go ahead and slip stitch to the end, to my beginning chain, or my beginning stitch. And then once I've done that, I'll just go ahead and start my cable stitch just like normal until I get all the way back around to the beginning. And then once I get back around to the beginning, I'll slip stitch, tie off my yarn, and sew in all of my ends. As you can see, I've already sewed in all the other ends, so this will be the only one I have left. So here I am coming up on the beginning where I started here, and I'm just gonna simply do a slip stitch right there. Oh my. Okay, so I'm going to do a simple slip stitch, and now we're just going to start the cable stitch. Just wrap around. So here's the first stitch here. Just going to go into the second one, and you do your double crochet, and then you go into the next one and do your double crochet, and then you just go back to the one that you skipped back here, and you do your double crochet, and there is your first cable stitch. So again, You skip the first stitch, go into the second stitch, and then the next stitch is a double crochet, and then you go back to the stitch you skipped and you do your double crochet in there. So there's your cable stitch, and once you finish this, you're going to slip stitch to the beginning up here, and then you are completely finished. All you want to do is finish off your ends, tie off your ends, and make sure you sew them in. So I hope that you have enjoyed this tutorial of the cable stitch fingerless glove, and as always, I am Pink Olay saying happy crochet.